I was running.
Okay, because you're bleeding.
Is it bleeding again? I'm sorry. These are hornet stings, you know? I run into like a lot of like hornets in my line of work, and I get stung up like that all over my face and stuff, and then, you know, it starts bleeding.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Yeah.
What is it that you do again?
I'm like a janitor. I'm a full-on rapist, you know? Africans, dyslexics, children, that sort of thing.
I'm sorry. Did you say you're a full-on rapist?
No, no. I help people. You know what I mean? I'm a
Philanthropist?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It gets blocked up in my mouth. I don't say it no good. So. I'm a janitor at a bar.
What the hell did you expect?
What the hell do you expect?
Does your child love sports and you're thinking about signing him up for a league? Or maybe you're just looking for a really cool birthday party idea. You're going to want to check out Sport Ball. I'm joined by Program Director Derek Morrison. Great to see you.
See you.
So what is Sport Ball?
I'm levitating. What the F? I feel warm and I'm levitating.
What the F?
Hey, Lloyd! Do some delivery for the truck to the airport. A 3-run jack by Seeger.
Now, in the second half of whatever the hell you guys call this game, let's put on our leg warmers and let's dance our asses.
Oh, it started? Will they let me start? Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. So y'all can sit here and ask me all the questions y'all want to. I'm going to answer with the same answer, so y'all can shoot if y'all please.
Well, hello and welcome. This is our first episode of What the Hell Did You Expect for the semester. I am your host, Kevin Ryan, weighing in this week at 199 pounds. And this is episode, well, let's just call it episode number 24 in a collector's series, because we're sort of recording. For those of you listening on a podcast to this later, we apologize that our first episode of the semester is a ghetto episode. But regardless, this is show number 24 in a collector's series. And seated right across from me here, as has been typical of the last two semesters, is my best friend and cohort, Colin Suplee.
You flatter me with your words. Your big, succulent, delicious words.
How's it going, man? How are you doing?
I'm fucking pissed off right now. I'm not even going to attempt to hide my seething rage building up in my lower abdomen. It's just like, I feel so much hate and frustration because,
yeah, what happened there?
Everything was fine, and then right before the show, my laptop, it ran out of power, so I was like, oh, I'll just plug it in, because, you know, laptops run out of power sometimes on me.
Right.
And now my sound doesn't work.
That's strange.
I can't output or input any sound into my computer, and it just completely, I mean, look, we can use the normal audio thing, but like...
Right, well, I hope it's recording right now.
It is recording right now,
okay.
But it's broken in such a way that I'm not entirely sure, because this was literally 15 minutes ago that this happened.
Right.
It is broken in such a way that I cannot record the stream to get a nice audio version of what we're saying right now.
Right.
I don't know why. It's just like it's not happening. I can't get the green like vibration bars to show up, and it's just
that's shitty.
Yeah. I mean, I hope my computer's okay.
Yeah. When was it made?
I don't fucking know. I got it in my junior year of high school, which was 5 years ago, and I think it was already about 3 or 4 years old by then.
So you're running an 8-year-old computer?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, it's not new.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, like... I hate to say this, but I wouldn't be terribly surprised if your computer's just slowly dying.
I need to go back it up, like, as soon as I get home.
Yeah, no, seriously. As soon as we leave here, you should go back up everything on your computer.
Yeah. I think the last time I did the backup was like a month ago, so I won't lose too much.
Oh, okay.
But I need to make sure.
That's probably a good idea though, because like my computer is only like 3 or 4 years old and it's already dying. Like I've been through so many replacement batteries.
Yeah.
And all of them just don't work, which leads me to believe that it's not the batteries, it's just my computer being stupid and probably dying, which is not good.
Yeah.
especially since I'm doing an honors thesis this semester, and I need something to work on.
That's what we have the library computers for.
No, please no.
Write a paper on a public device.
Oh
See how
God,
that goes.
no, I don't want to. I need my Wagner and my bourbon and my writing sweater, and I can only do 2 of those things at a public computer.
If I recall once, didn't you sneak a flask of whiskey into the library once for writing an essay?
Allegedly. Allegedly, I sneak, I don't even have to sneak it. I don't even have to be sly on it, about it, I guess, on the radio. On the imaginary radio that, like, pretty much no one listens to, I don't think.
Except for the people who, like, actually listen and censor us.
Yeah,
I didn't know they existed, but apparently they do.
I guess KLC occasionally listens to our radio show, which we're sorry. I'm going to keep that apology as vague as possible.
Yeah, we
but
apologize.
We are sorry.
We're a public menace. Don't fund us.
But no, I have allegedly taken my flask full of bourbon into the library a lot of times, and allegedly it goes pretty well.
Allegedly.
Every single time. Allegedly.
I've heard that I've heard, through the grapevine that the write drunk, edit sober philosophy does work quite exceptionally well for you specifically.
Yeah, allegedly it does.
Allegedly it does.
I'm trying this new thing where if I say allegedly before anything possibly incriminating, hopefully no one will do anything about it.
That's not a crime, is it?
Well, it's not a crime like they could lock me up or anything, but it actually is like against a lot of Lewis and Clark codes and stuff to bring alcohol onto campus. Like, even if you're over 21, having a flask of bourbon in the library is a big no. So.
Oh, well, allegedly that would be a terrible thing if that happened.
Yeah, good thing it doesn't.
Yeah, good thing nobody does that. And everyone is perfect, like, good Christians.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And no one is going to hell, right?
Yep,
exactly.
Totally. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, speaking about, actually, this has
speaking of hell, so sport ball happened today.
Yeah, how did you know what I was going to transition to?
Why not? It's the sport day. Of course you're going to transition to sport ball.
Yeah.
We've done this before, like the first episode of the semester has been sport ball day.
Yeah. Well, at least spring semester, it always is. I mean, I say always. We've done spring semester radio shows twice now.
Exactly. It still feels like a tradition already.
Yeah, it does, though. But yeah, no, it is sport ball day. Today was the day of the big sport ball competition, the Super Bowl, in which the Seattle Seabirds, the Seattle Sportbirds, played.
I thought we were calling them the Sport Hawks.
The Sport Hawks?
The Sport Hawks.
Yeah, but that's too close to their actual name. So the Sportbirds played the New England Sportriots. I'm sorry, I didn't have any time to think of a better fake name for the New England Patriots. But the Seattle Seahawks played the New England Patriots today, and Anna and I, my housemate and I, we went to the local pub or bar, or I guess sports bar really, and sat there and watched the whole game start to finish. Oh my God, it was such a good game. It was such a close game. The whole game, it was really close. Like, at halftime, we were tied 14-14. That's only happened, like, 2 other times in Super Bowl history. And then, like, at the very... Okay, let me just sport ball at you for a minute.
I am constantly impressed by your ability to be entertained by these things.
I'm constantly amazed at your disinterest.
You could... talk at me, Kevin.
Okay. So, the score with about a minute and a half to go is 28-24. The Patriots have 28. The Seahawks have 24. If the Seahawks get a field goal, that only gives them 3 extra points, which is not enough to make them either tie or win. The Seahawks need to make a touchdown in order to win. So the Seahawks drive the ball up, a few beautiful passes, just gets it right up. They are a yard, 1 single yard, as far away as you are from me right now, even closer than that. the ball is that close to the end zone in which they need to get the ball to score a touchdown. They have 4 attempts to do this. Attempt 1, they run it. This was actually when they had about 5 yards, and they run it all the way up to 1 yard. So this was their second attempt. They have 2 more attempts after this to run it to get it into the end zone to score a touchdown. But instead of running it, they decide to pass it. So they throw the ball, and one of the New England Patriots intercepts it. He grabs the ball out of the air, which means that they now have the ball. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. They run the time down. The Patriots win. Such a stupid call. And I know so many other people are going to be livid about this, so I don't want to be too livid about this for too long. But such a stupid call to do a pass on a second down, 1st and goal, when they should have done, like, they should have just given the ball to their running back and he could have just ran it in. No mess, no fumble, it would have been fine. Marshawn Lynch is like the best running back in the game. He could have totally scored them the touchdown, won the Super Bowl for them. But they didn't.
They did it last year.
They did it last year, which is why I'm not too upset, because they won the Super Bowl last year, and not many teams win it twice in a row. And also, like, holy shit, that game was really close, and there were a lot of fuck-ups on both sides, and there were a lot of really good plays on both sides. So I don't want to beat it too much to death, because, you know, the Seahawks don't deserve that. They played a really good game, and I will forever love them for being the bad boys of the NFL.
I understand like half of what you just said.
Okay.
I know that there's a ball and you have to get it past a line in order to win the game.
In order to score a point, yeah.
Okay, but like beyond that, I'm just like, they're guys, they throw balls, they catch things.
Yeah.
If only one of them could come over here and fix my computer now with all of their money that they have because sport ball. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah, sport ball pays a lot of money. But no, I don't think any of them quite have the technical knowledge to fix your computer.
I would sacrifice my computer to see the entire NFL attempt to fix it. Just the players. See what happens. I bet it would get fixed.
I highly doubt that.
Among you take all the players in the entire NFL. There must be.
Wait, is this sort of the you know the theory about if you get enough monkeys in a room,
yeah, exactly.
Shakespeare is that
that's what I'm saying. Like if you get enough football players in a room, they must be able to fix a computer.
The modern day equivalent of enough monkeys.
I mean, I know some very tech-savvy football players, but it's still like, I'm just like, no, like, they're the NFL.
I can't decide whether this analogy is more insulting to monkeys or football players.
I think it's just insulting in general.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just going to continue to badmouth people until my computer starts working again.
Yeah, that sounds like a great strategy, Colin.
If I channel enough negative cosmic energy at my computer, it will fix itself out of its fear for me.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to work super well for you.
Yeah, it might someday.
It might.
Yeah,
never know.
This happens with like old Game Boys that I had, like...
You would just channel negative energy at it?
Well, I mean, I didn't think of it that way back at the time, but when I was like 6, like my Game Boy isn't working, and I just had to sort of like, be like, why aren't you working? And it would work eventually.
That sounds really healthy for you, Colin.
Yeah, it's kind of like how you also fix TVs and microwaves.
And girlfriends?
You took that somewhere way darker than I ever wanted to take this. You made it scary and real. Don't do that.
I did. I'm sorry.
You ruined the fun of it.
I don't mean that. Neither of us mean that in any sort of way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god.
Oh god.
Kevin.
I couldn't resist.
See, nobody. You make fun of football players. It's like, whatever. They're rich. They're huge. They probably have like lots of sex and drugs and alcohol and whatever. They're fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't make fun of people who actually get beaten up by domestic abuse problems. Thanks.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all people, like, and this is not me being, like, a shit eater. This is not me being an asshole. This is, like, legitimately, I am sorry to anyone who I offended with that, holy shit, like, I know, not entirely firsthand, but firsthand enough that is a shitty situation, and
That said, I also think you're kind of green because I don't think there's anyone anyone who would be listening to this show right now only listens to the show because they know us.
Right.
And therefore they're not going to be offended by anything I have to say.
Yeah, especially stuff I have to say, because a lot of people who know me know that I can be pretty offensive.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you know, I think that's the thing that I've noticed about myself, like, especially over the past year, is that I've been toning down my intentional offensiveness a lot. Does the phone work now?
No, the phone's broken.
Okay, yeah.
Mic 3 is broken. The phone.
No, mic 3 is plugged in now.
What?
Do you want to go try mic 3 for a second?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, I've got mic 3 up. Try speaking into it.
Hello?
Nope, nothing.
Okay.
Sorry. Damn it, mic 3 is still broken.
Never mind.
Okay.
Our equipment is still shit. What else is new?
What the hell did you expect?
Yeah. See, now we actually... you know, we started with that phrase, starting the show out, being like, oh, it's like, what the hell did you expect? It's two guys, it's like with shitty recording equipment. But now it's kind of like, it's more associated with the fact that mic 3 is broken than anything else. And I'm just like...
it's associated with a few other things. It's associated with the phone line not working as well.
Yeah, okay.
It's also associated with Black Santa behind me.
We haven't really talked about it in a while. What's up, Santa? How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really talked about him because we don't really need to. He's still there. Nothing has changed in that situation. Everything is quiet on the Black Santa front.
Although, yeah, that just reminds me, because like I've been I was painting quite a bit this weekend, and I've been listening to the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack.
Oh, were you inhaling a lot of paint fumes?
No.
Okay.
Why would you assume that? I take precautions to not die.
I mean, there's a fine line between getting really high off paint fumes and dying.
No. That's not how that works. Although, now that you mentioned paint fumes, I am a little worried about Aaron right now, who is...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's airbrushing some Gundam figurines in his room, which is not a good idea. Aaron, please don't do that.
Aaron, stop right now.
You will kill yourself with monoxide poisoning. That's the thing, that's what comes out of those.
Wait, no, monoxide. I thought you said hydroxide.
No. Like, the fumes that come off of spray paint is what's going to conglomerate in his room and kill him. And I'm just like, Aaron, stop!
Yeah, they're all going to team up with their fellow paint fume friends and just invade his lungs.
Oh, that'd be awful.
Yeah, that would be really awful.
It's like that one Batman episode of it. Never mind.
Speaking of invasions and things like that,
you gonna go fantasy or real?
I don't know, actually.
I'm flipping a coin in my head. Alright, start
now
talking.
that you mentioned, I could go either way. But no, I'm going to go fantasy because D&D.
Yes.
Have I told you much about our D&D exploits lately?
The last I checked, you were doing heisty maneuver things or
Yeah,
something?
we're sort of doing heisty stuff. So basically, everyone is out of prison now. The 4 characters in my campaign are out of prison.
Yeah.
But they owe very, very hefty debts to their lawyer, Ellis Longthorn. So, in order to pay off their debts, he is making them do a bunch of sort of sketchy jobs for them.
Yeah.
So their first job was more or less human trafficking.
You told me about this before. You talked about this. Hi, Jake Bertman.
Yeah.
You talked about this on the show before.
Did I?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
We have this recorded somewhere else.
Maybe.
So what else have you been doing?
No, I don't think I did talk about it on the show. No, because our last show was in December, and I didn't even plan this until like January.
Oh, really?
No, so it isn't recorded. Okay,
well,
so here's
my memories are crossing like
I talked to you about it like at the end of break though, like you and Lydia, when I was over at your apartment, I guess I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, so the deal is though they need to bring someone from the outside world into the city, and they're doing it through the mining tunnels. This person is in a big metal box that's stored in a warehouse in the mining tunnels.
That's really funny, by the way.
So one of the characters, Eric, his character tries to break him out of the metal box, but he's not strong enough to do it. His strength is like -4 modifier, I think. So he goes and tries to get a donkey to do it. The donkey kicks him in the balls. Because he has no points in tame animal and rolls a 2.
I'm sorry to anyone who just had to hear that.
And then he uses a crowbar and opens the metal box, and a dwarf pops out, and surprise, it's Benoit, who was my character from the previous campaign that we did with Lydia as the DM.
Yeah, of course.
So Benoit and the party sort of make it through the mines. They get attacked by some mercenaries and clerics from the Temple of St. Cuthbert.
Yeah.
One of the party members finds a mysterious note on the body of one of the mercenaries that is encoded in Old Dwarvish script. I did actually go online
That's
and
cool.
found Dwarven script from the Tolkien universe.
Yeah.
And made a note. I wrote out what I wanted to say in like Middle English.
Yeah.
And then I translated it with Dwarven letters into Dwarven.
Fuck, dude. That's
So-
mean.
So the whole session today
Yeah.
was them having this note in Old Dwarven and piecemealing together letters to create what the note actually said.
Yeah.
Which was something like kill or capture the dwarf Benoit, don't tell anyone about this or about the Fire Maiden because she's watching, and each mercenary gets 3,000 gold apiece.
Melisandre? I'm very interested. Just the fact that you have the words fire and maiden in front of each other just immediately implies so many interesting things to me.
Actually even met up with Melchior, your character.
Yay!
Who works in the library.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're having, I am glad to hear that you're progressing forward with your shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Our shenanigans are actually developing into something now, which is wonderful. Because last semester, due to various reasons, there wasn't much D&D playing on campus, but I have finally put together a group that I will DM in a grand adventure, which is going to be really fun.
Excellent. What sort of adventuring type deal are you doing? Just like
Why, Kevin? I'll tell you. So, you know how, because we started, like, the history of our entire campaign has this really bizarre mythology where it just sort of started, and then Lydia took it and actually kind of expanded on it. And then Kevin is taking it and sort of going west with it and, like, building up these dwarf things, and I made a map, and that's all this stuff. And I am basically taking it north from the Hibernia stuff and developing the Elven Empire.
Excellent.
Because that was really interesting, and I was like, I'm going to do this. So there's going to be some, I hope no one who's going to be in my campaign is listening to this, because I'm going to talk about some fun things. But there's going to be some spicy... Kevin just broke the microphone.
I didn't break it. What are you talking about? I just took the mic off the stand, and now I'm holding it like I'm a pop singer or something.
Oh, it looks like
it's fine.
ice cream or something. But
yeah.
Anyway, because we have we have 4 players, and
Yeah.
I know. Actually, I don't even know one of them. I just met him, and it's like
I wonder if the mic works sideways. It does work sideways like this. Sorry, I'm easily distracted. Continue, please.
It's a good campaign. We got good people. We have a good classic setup of like a rogue, a fighter, a mage, and a cleric. And
that's good.
It's going to be
a very
great.
good
We
setup.
have 2 elves, a human, and an orc, and it's just going to be like they wake up in a tavern that's been paid for them in an outskirts border town, in like a sort of garrison area, on the outskirts of the Elven Empire, and they wake up. They have no idea how they got there. No one is mean to them. They can't remember the last week, and they have anklets on that when they start to walk away from each other, they start beeping.
Huh.
Yep. And it's going to develop into a complex mystery myth arc thing from there.
Interesting.
And I'm developing like how I've been having a lot of fun developing how the elves in this world work, and just sort of like choosing what aspects to emphasize. I'm sort of characterizing them more as a. Looks like elves are like in the Tolkien universe at least, which is kind of what D&D is totally ripping from.
Right.
It's like they're like these super serious, super graceful people that are also like have these kind of huge parties, Whereas these elves that I'm writing are going to lean more on the party aspect. They're more like bohemian pot-smoking Buddhists.
I like this idea.
And they're run by they basically have like this giant confederacy / feudalist society where like there's a single all-powerful figure at the top who really doesn't have to do anything because they all live forever. They kind of just govern themselves pretty effectively. And there's not too many conflicts, but then there's going to be some like fun stuff with like the orcs like fighting up against the bottom or the southeastern quadrant of the empire, and then our characters are going to be having to be like, why are these things on our ankles? What happened to our memories? Because it's like the classic Amnesia storyline, except like the thing that I really want to emphasize is that it from the outset it doesn't look like they actually did anything bad. Like people recognize them and are friendly towards them and are like, hey, like what's up, and they've never met these people before. They have no waking memory of who these people are. Because nothing is wrong. They didn't seem to do anything wrong, but they just have these things on their ankles, and it's just like, what's going on? Why are we doing this? This is gonna be exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Cool.
I hope they don't die.
Yeah.
Immediately. That would be bad.
That would be very bad. Hey, do you know what time it is?
Mealtime? I'm hungry.
Using big words hurts you.
Motherfucker.
You knew it was coming.
This game is hard.
It is hard. What music do you want this week for Big Words?
Right, I get to pick the music.
Well, most of the time you do. Sometimes I get to, but...
Kakariko Village.
How do
Twilight
I spell
Princess.
that?
K-A...
Oh. I was going for something a little bit more obvious.
K-A-K-A-R-I-K-O.
Oh, there it is.
Twilight
Kakariko Village.
Twilight Princess theme.
There we go. I think this is it. Is this it?
That's one of them. It'll do.
Okay. It's close enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to put that down a little bit more. So your first word on today's Big Words is Farinose. F-A-R-I-N-O-S-E. Farinose.
Something to do with the scent of smell. And ferrets. Smelly ferrets. It means smelly ferrets.
Also remember you can ask me to use it in a sentence.
Nah, I'm sticking with my answer.
Smelly ferrets?
It means smelly ferrets.
No, unfortunately that is incorrect.
Well, darn.
Farinose.
How did I not see that coming?
Farinose means resembling or yielding flour.
What the fuck? Flour as in like baking flour?
Yeah, like baking. Because the word for flour in Latin is, or at least in Spanish, is farina.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is in Latin, but I think it's farin something. So, yeah, it's from that word. Okay, second word, mulse. M-U-L-S-E. And again, you can ask me to use it in a sentence if you wish.
It's like it's okay. It's like an empty pulse, because mulse is like mu and mu means nothingness in Japanese, but it kind of sounds like pulse, so it's like a nothing pulse. It's like you're dead. It means you're dead.
It means you're dead. Mulse is the equivalent of death.
Mulse means like a state of dying.
I'm sorry, your husband, he has mulse.
He has mulsed.
He is mulced away.
Yeah.
Into the great unknown. No, it actually doesn't mean that at all.
Someday I'll get one of these.
Yeah, dude, you've gotten them in the past.
Yeah, but like it's more fun to not try. Like, I mean, really, do you want like audience? Do you want to hear me like actually attempt to guess what these words mean, or do you want to make up some weird fucking shit that's just funny? Like, what do you really want to hear? I know what I want to do.
Yeah. Mulse is boiled wine with honey. It's kind of like mead, I guess, ish. I don't really know.
I like mead.
Yeah, it's boiled wine with honey. Okay, the next word is wherry. W-H-E-R-R-Y. Wherry.
Is it a werewolf?
No,
Okay.
it is not a werewolf. It has a cognate. There is a word that sounds... It actually rhymes with the word wary that means pretty much exactly what wary means. We have them all over the place in Washington State.
Quarry?
No. you know what I'm talking about.
Fairy?
Yeah.
Oh, der. I honestly thought quarry. I was like, that rhymes with quarry. Whatever. Okay. What does it mean?
Ferry. It means a light, shallow boat or barge.
I don't know if you've seen the Washington State ferries, but them ain't shallow. Or barge-like.
They are kind of barge-like. They're flat on the deck.
I guess they're big steel mouths.
And they are relatively shallow. I mean, compared to other boats of their size, they are fairly shallow.
Yeah,
you know, they got to get in close to shore to let off those cars going. The next word is pacificate. Pacificate.
No, it just reminds me. There's a Metal Gear Solid character named Pacifica Ocean. Did you know that?
Shut the fuck up. Really?
Are you amused? Because it's true.
Pacifica Ocean?
Yeah.
What?
She's a KGB spy.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's... I don't know.
What the fuck?
There's also a guy in the same game named Hot Coldman.
Is this just like their dicking around game?
Yeah, kind of. You can find a cat wearing mercenary gear who will join your company and like shoot people for you.
Cool.
It's weird.
Pacificate.
It's like testificate, but like pacificate. It's a Pacific testificate.
It's a testificate from the Pacificate?
Yeah.
Okay. No. It's actually a verb. It means to give peace to. So, you know.
Oh yeah, pacify. Fuck.
Yeah, pacify.
Damn it! I had it in there, but I didn't remember.
Yeah. This one you might actually know because it has to do with art.
Ah yes.
Oleograph.
Nah, fuck.
Oleograph.
It has something to do with drawing. Or a map or a chart. Graph can mean a lot of things. Okay, so once upon a time, there was a guy with a really thick accent, and he was learning English, and he wanted to draw Oreos, and he built a machine that could draw Oreos for him because he really liked Oreos.
Okay.
So it was an Oleograph.
Did he have a Japanese accent by any chance?
Yeah.
So he made his R's into L's.
Yeah. I'm terrible.
You are terrible. That's not as bad as my earlier joke, but that's in the same vein.
I am such a terrible person when it comes to accents. Like, I'm just like, I completely respect your struggles with learning other languages, but you sound so funny, and it's hard not to make fun of you.
No, I know. It's like, you know the and I kind of hate to say this, but you know the stereotypical gay voice that, like, a lot of gay men
but that's not
have.
actually true, though. That one I've never met anyone who's actually sounded like that.
Oh my god, I've met so many gay men who have that.
Okay.
And, like, I've also met plenty of gay men who don't, but it's like, you know, the gay men who do have that, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, hello, it's hot out here. But am I supposed to just be like, hello, yes, it is very hot
Yes,
out here.
you say that in your most heterosexual voice possible.
I just
like, hello.
I laugh because they're funny. Okay, oleograph. Sorry, we got off on a tangent.
It was a good tangent.
It was a good tangent, though. Oleograph.
If a Scottishman ever tried to say anything to me, I wouldn't be able to respond because I'd be laughing too hard.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like a really big, like, old Scotsman with a really thick accent.
Like from Samurai Jack.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah. Oleograph.
I don't fucking know. It's a telephone that makes Oreos.
It is a print in oil colors to imitate an oil painting.
Wait, what? So it is an oil painting intending to... No, it's a...
It is a print.
Yeah.
It is a print in oil colors meant to imitate an oil painting.
Alright, I comprehend. That's weird. I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. I should
you
try
can do that. It looks cool. When I looked it up, it looked cool. I do look these words up.
Yeah, of course you do.
No, I actually do because I'm genuinely interested in like words and stuff.
Yeah.
I look a fair amount of them up before I put them on the show. Sometimes I just do it in the 5 minutes before the show starts, but today I did it in the 20 minutes before the show starts.
Hey, Kevin.
God
damn it, Colin! I wasn't expecting
Never
that.
fuck with my computer for that specific reason.
Wow,
God damn it.
That card is ugly. I apologize to anyone who heard that. Have you heard of anti-jokes? You should Google anti-jokes right now and let's tell some on the air. Please.
Anti-jokes?
Satisfy me in this way.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn off the Zelda stuff.
That's fine. Please do. Loop for 20 hours. Zelda.
It's a loop for 10 hours, actually.
Oh my god, how could you listen to that for so long? After a while, the chiptune just starts to hurt.
Okay, I'm on antijokes.com.
Yes, they're great. Tell me an anti-joke.
What's worse than finding a worm in your apple?
I don't know what.
The Holocaust.
It's so awful, but it's like...
Roses are red, violets are blue. I have a gun, get in the van.
They're also violent, I wasn't expecting that. More, tell me more. 2 more.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Why?
It wasn't. Numbers are not sentient and thus incapable of feeling fear.
Everyone, this is our endorsement of anti-jokes. Look up anti-jokes. They're the funniest jokes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dave.
Dave who?
Dave proceeds to break into tears as his grandmother's Alzheimer's has progressed to the point where she can no longer remember him.
Poor Dave.
Why did the plane crash?
Why?
The pilot was a loaf of bread.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
I found the worst one. I think this really is worse than the Holocaust one.
Are we allowed to read it on air?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it? I feel so bad at half a second for laughing, I just know it.
I feel bad already. Okay.
We apologize in advance.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Stephen Hawking walks into a bar.
Oh, that's so bad! That's so bad! I have such a complicated relationships with things that are mean but also funny. It's like, ooh.
Why did the woman leave the kitchen?
I don't like where this is going already. Why?
She had just prepared her breakfast and was late for her full-time job as a firefighter.
I got me.
Like
Yeah, I like that one too.
Because you think it's going to be super like misogynistic,
Yeah.
and then it's totally like, no.
She made a sandwich. Now she's gonna go hack
Yeah.
things up with axes. Firefighter ladies are really attractive. Just want to put that out there.
How do you stop a bus?
The stop pedal?
Throw small children in front of it.
I don't think that works as well.
No,
honestly,
that's
that's like shock humor a little too much.
A little.
Yeah, just like violence as opposed to like actually deconstructing it of it. That's not even the right word.
What do you call a black guy who is selling drugs?
A black guy who's selling drugs.
A pharmacist. There are a lot of those, actually. As I'm looking at these, there are a lot of those which are like, what do you call someone who murders a black guy?
A murderer?
Yeah, a murderer. Yeah.
Yeah, but those are, I don't know, those are a little too... I like the ones that are sillier. I don't know. Like, I like
What's big, wet, and yellowish green at midnight?
Fuck, I don't know. Like, what would that actually be normally?
I don't know either. That's why I'm asking.
I was gonna guess like
That is the joke.
the moon. Okay, these are losing their splendor just a bit.
Yeah. Okay, one more.
One more anti-joke.
What did Grandma give little Ben for Christmas?
Cookies.
Nothing. She died on Thanksgiving.
Oh, too soon.
Yeah, a little. Also, do you know what time it is? I mean, even though we're not doing the stream, so we don't really need to do this, I feel like because of tradition, we still should do our late night segment.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's the late night segment. It's later than the normal segment.
Whoops.
What are you doing?
Maybe I shouldn't have disconnected. Oh no, it's just because I have the speakers too loud in the studio.
Well,
See,
that hurt.
I can do it now and it's fine. But I had the speakers up pretty loud, so it made a feedback loop.
We're making so many technical flaws today. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, part of the technical flaw isn't our fault.
Well, part of.
Well, I mean, the like computer part of it is not your fault. It's just your computer being your computer. And I mean, the mic being off of the thing isn't. Well, it is my fault because I did take it off to an extent, but it's not entirely my fault because it wasn't really attached anyway. Do you want to see how
Yes, let's show the people
hanging
on our audio.
It was just
thing.
hanging like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't attached. It wasn't bolted in. It is just hanging on the end of the mic stand.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should do a Let's Play show, but where we play Legos. And just we're sitting here at the studio, and the table in front of us, we're just playing with Lego bricks.
And not talking?
As we talk.
I actually think that would be fun.
I think it would
Do you have Legos though?
No. Fuck.
Neither
Do you remember in freshman year when I brought a huge bin of Legos to campus?
When
That
you
was
brought
fun.
a lot of Legos to
We
campus.
played with them like 3 times or something. It was worth it though. It was good.
Yeah, it was really fun. No, I kind of wish I had that now.
Yeah.
My honors thesis stress is setting in, and I think Legos would be really fun for that.
Well,
Really
that's
good
what
for
video games are for nowadays.
Yeah.
Video games and Santitas.
Yeah. GTA 5, man. GTA 5 has been helping me relieve so much stress.
Is it exciting?
I mean, not as much anymore,
Mm.
because I beat the main storyline, so,
Yeah.
I don't have any main story missions to do anymore. But it's still fun to just, because after you beat the main storyline, they give you a ton of money. You have so much money.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want, and just generally fuck around in GTA. And it is so much fun.
I should come over and try that. I don't think
Yeah.
I've played a GTA game since 3. Or
Yeah,
something.
it's so much better. It's a really fun game. And yeah, no, I got into kind of it wasn't like a fight or anything, but me and my girlfriend had a bit of an argument really late at night the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I really don't like going to bed upset. Because it just I'll stay up and dwell on it and get
Yeah.
even more upset.
Yeah, I do that too.
So I was like, you know what? Instead, I'm gonna play GTA. So I did. I played GTA for 2 hours, and I felt totally fine after it. And I slept like a baby. It was great.
That's great.
I mean, I didn't actually sleep like a baby. I slept like a 21-year-old, almost 22-year-old man.
Oh, that's it.
Almost
That's
22.
it. Oh my god. Oh my god. The second of the day I turn 22, my brain will just implode a little bit, and then my body will just shrivel.
It is
and my nipples
less
will get
than
really
you.
hard. I really wanted to take you off guard there. It seems that I succeeded.
Good job. Mission accomplished. You need an aircraft carrier and a banner. No,
I do. I really do.
No,
I'm going to work at 9 in the morning tomorrow. God damn it.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah, because, hey, people on campus, if you're on campus, come to the IT opening week party thing. I'll be there. It's actually kind of cool though, because we're on Thursday. We're like the IT help desk, just as a whole, is marathoning all 6 Star Wars movies. So I'm probably gonna show up around the end of 3 and maybe watch like some big chunks of 4, 5, and 6 and see how that goes. So that sounds like a good time to me.
It does sound like a good time. Yeah, as long as you just pretend that 1 and 2 mostly didn't happen.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of 3. And like
no, not most of 3.
I don't
some
like
of
3. Some of it's okay.
Some of 3 was good.
Yeah, okay. Like the opening bit's all right, where they're like flying through the ships and stuff. But
yeah. I don't know. I kind of like all the shit that goes down with General Grievous. I think that's a pretty good fight scene.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I don't know. Some of it looks so wrong. Like I look at that shot of there's that shot of Obi-Wan Kenobi standing in front of General Grievous, and it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi's back, and you see Grievous like he pulls out his 4 lightsabers and his arms split apart and he spins them around.
Yeah.
And while he's doing that, Obi-Wan Kenobi is doing nothing. He's just standing there and watching. And you know why that is? Because when you take away all the effects, it's Ewan McGregor in a Star Wars cosplay outfit, standing in a room that is entirely green, looking at nothing. And that just bothers me so much.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing better.
I remember when they were filming The Hobbit, and Ian McKellen, you know, bless his heart, he is a extremely fantastic actor, like classically trained. He's done Shakespeare, you know, on the national and international stages of Britain and America, and you know, he's done some fantastic theater work and movie work. And there he is playing Gandalf, which, you know, in a big blockbuster movie from, you know, a really epic book. But there he is standing talking to music stands with you know, pictures of characters' faces on them that light up when they're supposed to be talking.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's much bigger than everyone else in the shot.
Yeah.
At one point, he, like, honestly started crying and goes, "This isn't why I got into acting. This is not acting."
Yeah.
I totally feel him on moments like that.
I just feel Ian McKellen all the time.
Yeah.
Frequently. Feels good.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew that was an inevitability. But I wasn't going to make it awkward before you got there.
Yep.
You're welcome.
My heart goes out to him.
Yeah.
I mean that quite literally. He has it in a box on this mantelpiece. If you open up my chest right now, there's actually just like this little swirling black vortex thing with a keyhole on it. It's weird. I don't know what the hell's up with that. I should probably put that checked out.
Fuck that. We can't talk about what I'm about to say on the air, but I need to tell you something after we get off the air.
Star Wars Episode 7 hype? Because oh my god.
No,
oh my god.
Not
or
that,
Game of Thrones hype? Because oh my god.
We should talk about Game of Thrones hype.
April 12th. I'm
just
so excited.
Over 2 months away.
Like, I go through these ruts where like I'm just like for the past like 4 months I've just been like, God, Game of Thrones is so shit. Like I just hate it so much because it's not the books. And then the trailer for season 5 comes out. It's like I'm in. I'm so pumped. Oh my god, I can't wait.
I'm really excited for that. You know what though? I read an article though that said, you know, because they're doing a new season of Game of Thrones every year.
Yeah.
A new one comes out every year.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! What's his name? The author.
George R. Martin.
George R. Martin. At his best, was writing a new book every 2 years.
Yeah.
With this most recent season, we will have caught up to where George R. R. Martin has written to.
Yes, probably. I mean, if they write it well, they could easily cover both books 4 and 5 in one season. I think. Probably. No, more like a season and a half.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it takes one extra season, that means that extra season that covers book 5 comes out in 2016.
Yeah.
Book 6 is not coming out this year.
No, it's not.
He's said it's not coming out in 2015.
Yeah.
If we're lucky, it'll come out in 2016.
Yeah.
Which means the show will be all caught up in 2017.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
We've known this for a while.
Which
the show's
means
going to go
that
past
the show is
books.
going to overtake the books very easily and very quickly.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Which is why I want to keep watching it, because there'll be a completely different ending from how the books end, and I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be nice. I like it when different adaptations do that.
Yeah. I don't know. Not that I've read any of the books or have any interest in reading them. It still just makes me a little bit sad to know that it's going to be over before the books are finished.
Yeah.
There's something about the literary person in me that just makes me cringe when I think about that.
Yeah.
You know, because then there's going to be the hyped TV production that's done first, and since that's the more popular thing, I mean the TV series is why a lot of the people are going back and reading the books now. So if that finishes before the books are over, I don't know. I'm just afraid that people will be disappointed. I'm afraid for George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
You know.
But this way he'll have the last word.
That's true.
Because
that's probably a good idea.
The nice thing, the thing I didn't like about Harry Potter is that because the movies came out after the books were done.
Yeah.
For the most part, and just having the last piece of canon Harry Potter material I consume be the second half of the last movie that's a gross taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I much prefer finishing the book as opposed to finishing the film.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on the Harry Potter film series and book series, and we should definitely talk about that next week, but we're out of time this week. So,
oh man, is that a cliffhanger? Have we ever had a cliffhanger before?
I don't think we've ever had a cliffhanger before, but, this show might be our first cliffhanger.
Whoa, new things.
So, we'll leave you with this Tom Waits pirate ballad.
Okay, next week, Harry Potter.
Yeah, next week, Harry Potter, more D&D, more big words. We'll see you right back here. Until then, this has been Kevin and Colin for What the Hell Did You Expect? We will see you next week.
Peace and cheese.